E-commerce provider ChannelAdvisor went public in May at $14 a share. It's now trading around $27. Here to talk about the software as well as the state of retail is the company's CEO, Scot Wingo. Welcome, Scott.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks for having me today.
Well, what happened? Did Goldman Sachs underprice you back in May? Because the stock certainly has shot up.
No, actually, we had a range of 11 to 13 and priced above the range at 14. We did have second quarter earnings come out here, and we accelerated our growth to 31% for our core revenue. E-commerce is growing at about 15%, so we're growing about twice the rate of e-commerce. And we had a record number of customers added in the quarter.
Well, let's talk about what you do. You help retailers sell their wares across multiple platforms. You work with Google. You help people get their keywords right. Why don't you wrap it up into a package and explain to me what ChannelAdvisor does?
Sure. What we don't do is we don't help people set up their .coms. There's a lot of companies out there that do that, Demandware, Shopify, folks like that. What we do is once an online retailer has made that investment, we help them get their products in front of consumers across three different buckets. Search engines, like you mentioned, Google. Comparison shopping engines, Google has one that's popular, but so does Yahoo, so does, there's about 150 of them, believe it or not. And then marketplaces like eBay and Amazon. So what that does is it allows the online retailer to put all their products out where the consumers are shopping versus just assuming they'll come to their website.
And you talked about your second quarter results just before. You lost 25 cents. The street was expecting a loss of 35 cents. You did about 16 million in sales. What's your outlook for the rest of the year?
Yeah, when we came out with our second quarter guidance, we for the rest of the year we increased that slightly. We're an e-commerce company, so we look at those trends, and ComScore showed that the second quarter grew 16%, which was up nicely from the first quarter, 14%. As best we can tell, it's going to be a good holiday and back to school season. And
how should we judge your stock? Should we measure it cyclically when you're looking at holiday sales, back to school sales? How should we track your stock going forward? Like a retail stock?
Well, we do have some seasonality like a retailer. What I think we're more of a software as a service company, so what folks are looking at is our revenue growth, and that's what we're really focused on. We have about 2,000 customers, and we think there's 110,000 possible customers out there for us. So we're really focused on growing our sales and marketing, accelerating our revenue, and adding customers. So those are the things that we're reporting on is customer adds. Then also we're able to grow the revenue per customer, or we call that average revenue per customer. So we also had some really nice increases on that in the second quarter.
And you work with Google and Amazon and eBay. Those, I guess, to a certain extent are partners, right? So who are you stealing the share from?
Yeah, so we're not really stealing share from anybody.
They always say that.
What's happening is all those companies provide free software. So Amazon has free software called Seller Central. Google has free software. eBay has free software. So that's who we're really stealing share from, is these free solutions. What happens is retailers, as they grow, those free solutions break down for them, and free becomes expensive, if you will. So that's really what our solution is. Imagine you were managing a portfolio of 50 stocks across 50 different companies. That would be hard to manage, right? It's the same problem that retailers face. So with one centralized console, they're able to manage all of their e-commerce sales across hundreds of channels.
And finally, right now people buy things on their phones. It's all mobile and it's all social. So how do you mix the social with the mobile with the retail?
Yeah, a couple of ways. So all these e-commerce channels we work with are very active in the mobile side, for example. eBay and Amazon are frequently cited as the two top mobile destinations, either through app or through the browser, based on Arbitron or Nielsen data. So we're kind of naturally picking that up as eBay and Amazon ride along that trend. Also, Google's very active in this area. They have the enhanced campaigns, which is a new way for retailers to think about getting their products in front of mobile buyers. So we accept and work with Google on that. And then last but not least, social you mentioned. I like to say that social and e-commerce are kind of flirting, but they haven't even gone on a date, and they're certainly not married yet. So we're keeping a very close eye on that. And we have some Facebook functionality where retailers can push like a flash sale out through our software. Pinterest just came out with some interesting new rich pins that are product oriented, and Twitter has just come out with some product oriented features. We're keeping an eye on those things, and when they're available, what's nice is because we have 2,000 retailers, we'll be able to get them into these new social e-commerce intersections very quickly.
All right, thanks a lot, Scott.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you for watching The Street.